What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. This is another episode for requested albums. It has been a long amount of months since that I have last reviewed an album for this segment. The last one was for Tyler's request, previously known as Greedy Selfish 97, for the Mr. Bungle self-titled album, and this was requested by another one of my long-time subscribers, Billy Bishop, and he requested me to review this monumental, menacing album of stoner and doom metal. And with that being said, it's going to be for the Sleep album, entitled Dopesmoker. Dopesmoker is the third studio album by American-based stoner metal, doom metal outfit Sleep. This was released at first in 1999 under the different title of Jerusalem, and was released again in 2003 in the title of Dopesmoker. This is the follow-up to their second album entitled Holy Mountain. The writing process for the album was going to be a 1 hour long track. Matt Pike, the band's guitarist, said the songwriting process was long and that they were working on the song for like 4 years. We also had 2 other songs that we're working on that were really long too, like 15 and 20 minutes, but we never recorded them. The band's vocalist and bassist Al stated that smoking cannabis was important to the song's creative process. I was really dependent on the space I got into when I was using it, and some of the lyrics are about that. The line "drop out of life with bong in hand" was kind of a creed at that point. The song was originally known and performed live under the title Dopesmoker. After their tour, the group began to be interested in a Middle Eastern desert theme, which led to Sleep referring to the song as Jerusalem during the later practice sessions. The band were ready to record the album, but did not record it until 1996, under the record label with a contract of Earache Records. At the time, the band were going through lawsuits with the owner, Digby Pearson, and also they went through record labels with London Records and Elektra Records to release the album, but London Records refused and they were not happy with the finished product. The experience of writing the song extended the track's length longer and longer, with multiple time signatures and a lot of memorizing. Pike recalled, "There was so much to memorize for that album, we had to do it in like 3 different sections, because a reel-to-reel only holds 22 minutes. It was really cool, but it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life." Pike noted that they ended up with 2 or 3 different versions of the song. In 2012, the album was reissued, and upon its release, it has been praised as a huge, important, and celebrated album in the genre. The Dopesmoker release is always one of my favorite metal albums of all time, and stoner metal, doom metal combined is one of my personal favorite genres. I absolutely love how low-tuned, monstrous, and a dominated sound this kind of music of metal delivers. But Dopesmoker is a household name of an album. In terms of which Sleep album is my personal favorite, I have always picked Dopesmoker. I mean, they've never made a poor release. Holy Mountain, the previous album, which is a fantastic album, and their 2018 album of the Sciences, which is another outstanding record with possibly the best production, and it's one of my favorite albums of the last 10 years. What we get on this album here, journey, adventure kind of phase. And this is a very rare thing for a metal band like Sleep to really come up with something this gigantic of a piece of music. As soon as you put the album on, it starts things very out of control and unstoppable onto Matt Pike's beloved signature sounding fuzz up guitar tones. And as he plays along throughout this composition, there are numerous selections of different riffs to expand the structure, to various time signatures, and I absolutely do admire the big risk of the band that they would grow things to make every inch of this composition be full grown and complete. I love the destructive and monstrous sound of Matt's guitar tones, but not only that, the other two musicians accompanying Matt, Al with his contribution of vocals and the bass guitar, to Chris on the drums. It is a brilliant form and a huge way for a trio metal band like these guys that they would produce such menacing and dynamic sound. Dopesmoker's lyricism, as you would expect, with a lot of the lyrical themes on this album, involve mentions of the weeds to the spliff, the bong. Al's bass guitar playing onto this album is a dominated sound as well, as a loud, beefy and grunty tone with the vocals, just a long sustained pitch continuing that drone aspect. Vocal style is raspy, but it fits in as strongly. Phenomenal way to listen to, and it takes you in. This entirety of one track on the album makes you want to repeat the album and let the whole thing take you to a different land, really figure out what is going to happen whilst the eruption of this awesome sound is going to do to your eardrums. Chris's drumming on the record as well is amazing, really keeps things on time, non-stop, assaulted, bashing sounding crashes of the cymbals, and his drumming, I would say, personally stylistic, especially onto these multiple changes. Dopesmoker's history as a whole, besides being very chaotic and so difficult, they really nailed this. This is a benchmark record into the genre of the doom and stoner metal histories combined. And what also is amazing is that you will hear two different versions onto the album. The originally made and titled piece of Jerusalem, which is pretty much the same thing as Dopesmoker, and also the 2012 Southern Lord reissue. And to pick which one, the Jerusalem version does have so much volume and the loudness of the guitars, and the Southern Lord reissue does compress and maximize some more of the bass from Al's playing to connect with the same volume of Matt's guitar work. The lead guitars from Matt on this record are really trippy, they are bluesy, and at the same time, besides that it's just all a cacophony of fuzzy noise, very out there psychedelic feel when I hear these improvisational bluesy solos, but it does work. Dopesmoker by Sleep is not only a classic, but Sleep really deserves a lot of the reputation and the recognition, and there isn't really much that I could personally say about Dopesmoker because, to really cover a record into this genre can be pretty difficult because this kind of genre of metal music is familiar and exactly similar as many other bands' albums releases. But this record here, for an hour length of such a thunderous, fantastic sound, this record is just perfection. That's all I would like to personally say about Dopesmoker by Sleep, and let me know what you personally think of this album in the comments down below. Thanks to Billy Bishop for requesting this album to me. And I'll be making this segment frequent than ever. If you want to request an album for me to review, then share it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.